Hello, welcome back. I'm Statman Dave, and today we're diving into the tactical side of Manchester United. Should Ralf Rangnick continue with the 4-2-2 or move to a 4-3-3? Of course, check out all the stats on SofaScore. Subscribe if you're new. It's time to dive in. Let's talk about Man United in their shapes. One thing that has been on my mind. It's been on my mind for a while. Man United playing a single pivot and a two-man midfield. And luckily, that might be the shape going forward. Man United, of course, have tried the 4-2-2, had good success, of course, against Crystal Palace, but that was all the success we've seen with it. We saw Wolves attack down the flanks and United being unable to really cover those positions and being open up. I think going forward, the 4-3-3 gives United a lot more balance from a position of pressing, from a position of counter-attacking, but also from a position of opening up and dominating possession. For United, of course, in that shape, Ronaldo through the middle, Sancho or Greenwood wide right, and Elanga wide left. Bruno in a slightly deeper position, either Scott McTominay anchoring midfield or Fred. The reason why I think Fred might be quite good in that role is because Ralf Rangnick's RB Leipzig had Diego Demi in that position, a player that could really cover the wide positions in terms of if they've been bypassed, the press have been bypassed, a player that can cover ground quickly and recover the ball. I also say that in terms of Scott McTominay's attacking threat this season has been fantastic. No player scored more goals for Ralf Rangnick than Scott McTominay. And Bruno Fernandes as well looked good in that position against Aston Villa, grabbing himself a brace. And I believe in terms of United, it does look better for them with a holding midfielder. Of course, replacing a Fred with someone like a Declan Rice going forward long term would really work out. But also having the three forwards as well, playing higher up the pitch, gives you a number of different combinations that you can play of Cavani, of Elanga, of Rashford when he's back into fitness and form. I think there's a load of different options that United could be playing and could be operating with. You could go Greenwood, Sancho, Ronaldo. The one slight thing that I'd like a tweak to be made is the sort of the central striker dropping into a tip of the diamond position in a defensive sense, but also in an offensive sense, having someone that can link the attack. I think Ronaldo's done quite well at being the link man under Ralf Rangnick when balls have been played into his feet. He has done quite well in laying them off one touch or taking it under then laying off. I think he's kept his game quite simple in possession at times, and that needs to continue with the role that he plays within the team. I also think with the 4-3-3, it allows your fullbacks to play a lot higher as well. We've seen Liverpool do that for season after season under Jurgen Klopp, having the fullbacks being wingbacks in the final third, narrowing up that front three and basically playing a 4-3-3 shape, allowing United to be a little bit harder to press in their build-up, with the central midfielders taking, left half and right half positions to then spread the play. But I think the big thing in the shape, when United do transition to this kind of two split fives, is players coming off the line to link the play. But also having that consequent movement of players keeping the depth of the team, not all moving together, not all dropping off at the same time, but not all running the back line at the same time. And that's something that we've seen too frequent at Manchester United in the last few years, is all the attackers sitting up on top of the pitch and there being a midfield block, simply just stopping the passes into feet of the opposition. United having real problems playing through and just looking for those hopeful balls over the top. What we want to see more in this 4-3-3 that Rangnick, appears to enjoy, is definitely being more patient with the ball, but also having that ability to play through the lines and go forth. It could be slightly lopsided as well in terms of the setup, with Bruno Fernandes playing slightly higher than Scott McTominay on the side. Again, providing that kind of link-up where United can kind of play a bit of a box in midfield, which we see all the top teams do. In terms of Ralf Rangnick's quotes on the shape, United ditching the 4-2-2-2 in favour of a 4-3-3. Rangnick saying, we've now decided to play 4-3-3 like we did against Villa, with one holding six, 2 8s, and 3 offensive players. And I think that's probably the best way to balance United's attack. getting those three guys in there. I think we'll see a more effective Bruno Fernandes in this role. I feel like he's a little restricted. He has been a little restricted so far in Rangnick's 4-2-2, or in the tip of the diamond. We're not seeing the vision and the heads-up play, and I think that's a big thing for Bruno. It's kind of developing his game in that sort of sense in a 4-3-3. You know, he played Sporting at times in a midfield three and broke into the box and obviously became the best goal-scoring midfielder in Europe. So that's something that he can still do, is provide that extra attacking thrust from deep, but also contribute to the build-up, which I feel his skill set is kind of down for. I think he does look better under Rangnick in that deeper position. When we look at his statistics against Aston Villa in that deeper position, his best average score on SofaScore under Ralf Rangnick, playing in the 4-3-3. And we can see how active he is all over the pitch. You know, there's a lot of play in the inside left channel, which he absolutely loves. There's play deep in that left half position. We just looked at them. And you're seeing a lot of touches on the ball. Obviously, his key pass numbers need to improve it from that sense, but also you get that tackling and that work rate in midfield, which I feel United need, that like a little bit of feistiness in that central part of the pitch. Obviously, with Fred and McTominay in there, you can see that aggression. But having Bruno in there as well to allow him to be aggressive, I think is really important for United. In terms of the average setup and positions, we can kind of see Bruno on a similar line to the number 9 in possession. Hence the striker dropping in, the wingers holding the depth of the pitch. Hence the system and the shape that we had a look on in a sec. You know, you've got Fred playing in the slightly holding deeper position like we could have with Scott McTominay, alternatively kind of the other way around with McTominay holding and Fred playing in that slightly deeper position, Bruno playing slightly higher, and Ronaldo at the pitch. You know, straight away, that little slight tactical tweak of our 4-3-3 shape, if let's say we throw a midfield across the line, a midfield 4 and halfway, we've now got 2 players that we can play to feet to in our midfield. And then that connectivity between those two as well comes up. And those slight tactical tweaks are really going to help. But also you're keeping the depth of the team with the strikers. You've got the width with the fullbacks that could be in a slightly deeper position in build-up and so forth. But it just makes a lot of sense. You know, I want this diamond to come, be it in a diamond, an actual diamond, or a 4-3-3 that transitions to a diamond in possession. I think there's a number of options there. You know, looking at playing the likes of maybe a Mason Greenwood in that deeper position and having a Langer holding the width. Like, that works as well. We saw Mason play really well against Leeds United as a false 9. First game of the season, United won 5-0. Something to really consider with it and to work for. But the 4-3-3 looks like a much better shape than the 4-2-2. I think it works tactically better. I think defensively there's better coverage. But again, like, game state really matters. I think one of the biggest things with it is, you know, the pressing in this shape so far from a defensive situation. Let's just throw Ronaldo back in there and Elanga and Sancho below in there. The pressing so far has come from central midfield with the wingers dropping back. That's a concern when you get to your defensive third to kind of, you know, you don't want what we saw against Villa was both players pressing, then being bypassed, and then, you know, the defensive midfielder having loads of space to cover. You know, there needs to be more of a mindset in the final third that if one player's going, you know, tucking and making a double pivot in there, 2 number 6s, and then controlling that play and then going back and so forth, having that rocking 4-4-2 vibe that, in fact, Derby under Wayne Rooney do really, really well, as having one midfielder press and the other one drop in a defensive sense. And I think that works a lot better than having both of them pressing in your defensive third. Because again, the inside channels, you are really opening up, or the half space, you are really opening up one defensive midfielder to cover a lot of space. But the 4-3-3, I think, is definitely the way to go. Attacking-wise, defensively, pressing makes a lot of sense for Ralf Rangnick to ditch the double 6, going with 1 single 6, 2 8s and 3 offensive players. Thanks for watching, guys. Get into the comments below. Should United play a 4-2-2 or the 4-3-3? I've been Statman Dave. Check out SofaScore in the description below, and we'll see you next time.